Y'all probably remember that one video where I told you that Qyartu is the new Gopnik. If you haven't seen it, don't worry because I'm going to say this once again. When we think of Eastern Europe, what do we think? Commie blocks, vodka, basically what you think about the Soviet Union but broke. What connects those cultures, however, is a shared Gopnik idea, which I love to call Pan-Qyartism. The Azeri, Gagash, Georgian, Kurdi, and Armenian Qyartu. As well as the Russian Gopnik, we can't forget about them. Those are all falling under that one umbrella term I just called Pan-Qyartism. The old commoner working class culture, which began during the Brezhnev era and now more and more mainstream. Although now it's a little bit on the goofy category. So yeah, I thought I covered a significant part of Qyartus until Henri was like, nah dude, you forgot about Neo-Qyarts. I mean, good call, what can I say? I mentioned them but I didn't talk about them much anyway. Which leads us to the point where the Qyartu video itself deserves a sequel, but it also needs a tutorial. We will turn you, my friend, into a Qyartu. You probably might need a Qyartu starter pack for this. Let's lay it out like a table of contents, shall we? Like, what is the OG Qyartu starter pack? There's the Niva, the Tazbekh, the duet coffee, the usual. Black clothes or Adidas, the iconic red loafers or charokhs, let's say, and that one pose which we call Ppzel, squatting in Armenian basically. Now if you're familiar with my videos, I consistently spam duet coffee everywhere I go. Why? Because it's a literal staple for many Armenians to come, and even though it is a bunch of chemicals mashed into coffee. Well, back to the Qyartus and their starter pack. We're gonna start with the iconic Dorjar. Now, Dorjar is the archetype of Lada Niva, and that is the most popular one in Armenia. There are two types of Nivas around. The normal Nivas and the Dorjar. The difference? One is 2x4 and the other is 4x4.
Urban Niva varort. Urban lemkes. Hishashnem vor ձեր ավտոն սամալյոտ չի. Խնդրում եմ հորս սարեք ձեր ավտոն. To put it simply, one is stronger than the other. Originally designed for mountainous areas, Niva became a classic and the victim of being the overtuned car. A Niva is a car that a good boy or Lav Txa would drive, and when you turn 18, you must choose your own path. Either you get the black one or the white one. Either way, you end up getting a Soviet car and turning it into a G-Wagon. The irony, it might cost less to buy a G-Wagon than to buy a Qaqmej Eghats Niva and tune it to the max. Sometimes the tuning can be so harsh that you put stereos to make your entire car shake. The hydraulic steering wheel and the interior which looks like a G-Wagon. Literally, this feels like pulling a Need for Speed Underground 2 but with more cash. Imagine your full-on emotional roller coaster where you go Protiv and you hit this one dusty car. Like you spend so much time on tuning a Niva just to get it hit. The entire Niva situation is getting out of hand too. This entire thing feels like buying a Tesla and installing a propane gas barrel in a freaking bagajnik. I wonder what Elon would think if Armenians did this, and honestly, it's not far either. I know a guy who did it and told me it works, so. He turned the Gyozalakan Tesla into a hybrid car, interesting. Like, you can get other cars too, but the most iconic car for a Qyartu man is a Niva, hands down. Other cars are Mercedes, BMW, Lada Priora, Opel, and fun fact, I had a Mercedes myself. I called it a Vaspuric. Wonderful car, but the transmission one day just decided to die. Well, rest in peace Vaspuric. You were a good car. I wonder what would happen if those Nivas meet their end, like their transmission stops working. They'll be like, why cool? Now, Qyartus have this one psychology that includes extensive information on Armenian Panyats, which already has a video about it, and I'll leave the link in the description down below.
Наихудшим является предательство. Да, вас, Михаил Сергеевич, предали. Вас предала кучка негодяев. А скольких людей предали вы? Есть армянская пословица мудрая. Бозин бозутюне хаснум.
Qyartus are not like your average gangsters. They have a code, you know? Like if samurais originated in Armenia, they would have a code too, and they would probably be called Qyartus. Yeah, we don't do harakiri like, you know, samurais do, but you will feel that harakiri effect when someone Hiroshima Nagasaki's you in a tema. And now as the Qyartu culture grows, we have a Qyartu spectrum. You are either an OG Qyart or a neo-Qyart. You can't be both. The OG Qyarts are in Yerevan, and there are two types of them. There are the army Qyarts and the normal Qyarts. Let us revisit, because as we say in Armenia, repetition is the mother of science. Now, you write this down too. It's a good quote. It will help you too. Anyway, v общем. Now, OG Qyartus usually wear tracksuits, drive Nivas, while blasting music so loud that it can be listened from 100 meters away. They listen to Rabiz music mostly, but they also listen to Haytarek, Fekak Mikani Hoki, Haik, and many other early 2000s artists, like there's Armenian, for instance, or Tatul. They are your local OG street smart Panyats professors, and you can find them in Bangladesh out of all places, Yerortmas, and much more. Also, around universities, Malibu Park and the southern half of Yerevan, which also includes Aresh, the OG Grove Street of Armenia. Honorable mention, Saritagh. And if you want a spawn point in Gendron too, there is the Northern Avenue, the brain-rot capital of Armenia, and possibly a candidate to be the brain-rot capital of the world. Now there are also army Qyarts, which are a branch of Qyarts. Now the army introduces a new battlefield for them. As Jonathan Petro says, and I do agree with him as well, the army is a crucial part in Qyartu's metamorphosis. And yeah, this deserves its own video. V общем, now about the neo-Qyarts. Basically, as the name suggests, those are the mix of OG Qyarts and social media. Unlike OG Qyarts, you can be born in the diaspora too, like Glendale, for instance. But note, if you're born in the diaspora and you follow the entire Qyartu doctrine, you can't be classified as an OG Qyartu, because an OG Qyartu is exclusively tied to Armenia. Neo-Qyarts listen to hip-hop a lot, specifically Vanasakar and Fekak Sanirek. Neo-Qyarts have a slightly different outfit compared to the OG Qyarts, and they have dozens of outfit combinations. But the most popular outfits is basically Spitak Saroshka, a puff jacket, jeans, and a botas. And of course, we can't forget about the iconic sunk haircut. For some reason, they call this the Edgar cut. So, shout out to all the Edgars watching. Even you, Edgar Allan Poe. Nowadays, you would see them wear Palm Angels, Azat Mart, which dominate the Qyartu fashion as of now. And now I gotta say this, as much as some people hate Qyartu culture, I say that this is an important thing because it's genuine, it balances the entire subculture dynamics. Everything must exist in some sort of a balance. Like too much Qyartism leads to isolation and too much globalism leads to individuality because most of our subcultures come from, globalist ideas. Unless those can be localized in some sort, but this is depending on the subculture and its evolution. After all, they are the folk philosopher culture in Armenia. Back to the first ever video I made on Qyarts, maybe I did miss a few points, maybe I didn't, but all in all, the Qyartu ideology keeps on evolving. After all, I double dare you to tell me something that I missed this time too, and I'll be qatagel and make the third part of this someday. Also, if you have elite ball knowledge, you also probably have seen this post that I made on YouTube communities, but also I did it on Instagram stories and Twitter too, which includes this character in a way. So what can I say? Brace yourselves, Achberes, because we are entering a huge journey together. After all, Achberes, make sure to smash that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Davайте, Achberes, yes hella.
Չմոռանանք, որ միշտ կա մի մարդ, որ չի ուզում մեր լավը։ Իսկ ով չի ուզում մեր լավը։ Լցված են փողոցները, սեպեր փետերը, բահած է ձեռները, ու նոր ձոերը, թերնում են, որ չեռացնեն այդ մենթերին, գայիշնիկները, լցված են